So, no doubt the reading this time was really interesting, and the questions he posed, not just for the sci-fi feel of it all, but to think that if we had those capabilities, what would humans take advantage of, and what is ethical. However, I didn't really think it was that great of an article for different reasons. One being, so I've read a good bit of like bioethics, philosophy type articles similar to this one, and I don't think from a philosophy and ethics standpoint that he did a good job of creating any type of argument. It was just kind of like he was just posing the questions, and even then, I don't think he did a good job of posing them. I think he got you really interested at first, but he spent so much time explaining this outlandish story and doesn't provide the basis of it at the beginning. So when you're reading it, you're just like, that's cool, this is interesting, why am I reading this? So I would have preferred something like, if you wanted to use the hypothetical situation at the beginning to complete the outlandish story, he should just explain that in the beginning instead of saying at the end, you know, this story isn't true, da 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 da. Also, there's one comment that he makes about having faced plastic surgery or serious surgeries, and so there's no doubt that someone who has a face for their whole life and are comfortable with that face, that if their face was burned or something happened and they had to get a new face, that they would feel like they weren't looking at them and that their personality would change. He makes a comment about sexual reassignment surgeries in that, and I took a lot of offense to that. And not only did I take a lot of offense, but it was really, he was showing his lack of education about different things, not even really trans issues. For one, though, about trans issues, it's really not called sexual reassignment surgery. Trans people undergo a lot of physical changes that aren't actual surgeries to their genitalia that people think about. So they go on hormones, and hormones actually change a lot of what we consider would fit the stereotype of what looks like a man and what looks like a woman. And so that's that. And then another thing is, it's not like, so on hormones one's face would change, but their face is changing to what they want it to and what they expect it to, because they're injecting themselves with a hormone or taking it via pill, and so usually it's more confirming for them. So I can understand, because he says that obviously personality changes, and I think he's very wrong about that, and maybe with some major plastic surgeries, but to think your genitalia changes your personality, I think that's limiting yourself and what you are as a human being. And I kind of feel sorry for him that he thinks that, because a lot of, so trans people may feel more self-confidence after surgeries, yes, but it doesn't change their personality? No. Like, a lot of, for example, me, like, a lot of what I was like before, I'm still the same way now. I'm still just as stubborn, I'm still just as studious, I'm still just as whatever. I have the same type of humor. I have, like, if someone was OCD before, they'd still be OCD. Like, whether or not you have a penis has nothing to do with your personality. And so, to me, that kind of made me lose a sense of, like, when I usually read someone like this, I automatically assume them to be on a certain level of intelligence, and I'm more willing to trust what they say, but I was much more hesitant to trust what he said because of that, essentially. Because there are some things that you learn throughout your life, and that's what shapes your personality, or genetic, and it's not a specific body part that might change who you are. And so when you're talking about human beings and your person versus your biological parts versus your brain and all this hypothetical stuff, it's important that you understand these other things in order to pose such ethical questions. Yeah, and that's all I have to say about that.